Okay, I really hope this is working. I haven't streamed for a while, so... Okay, cool. The stream seems to be up, which is good. Yeah, there we go. Now live on your channel. Okay. Do you need to get it up on my phone? Wow. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, how are we, everyone? Hi, Corb. I'm just going to post the link in my Discord server real quick. Okay, we should be good to go. Let me back out of this. Let me let my cat in because she just came up to the window. If you hear meowing and rustling about, that's what it is. Hey, Sonny B. Okay. No, it's not actually working. I'm not here. Damn, that's a shame. Hello, JD. Finish your homework. That's good. Is this game Halo? Yes, it is. I know it's not like the most relevant game to a Ninjago channel, but I really couldn't think of another, and I'm sure as hell not playing Lego Brawls. Hey, Griffin Holmes. Brown Ninja the Goat, hello. How is everyone doing this fine 2 AM on a Friday? Not Friday, it's a Saturday, isn't it? Midnight always confuses me, especially after I worked night shifts for a while. Like, separation between like night and day is really weird and kind of only dictated by sleep. It's like, it's a weird thing. I don't know if I can describe, it's hard to describe unless you like have stayed up all night like multiple times. It's like, they just kind of blend into each other. Halo, more like Halo's son, your mother and I have gotten into the decision to get a divorce. But yeah, Saturday midnight, I guess. How is everyone? Jeez. Okay, listening to my own voice in this audio file. Is that good or bad? Because sometimes this, like, playing back your own commentary when it's, like, good commentary is really satisfying to me. But other times when it's not, it's like, oh god, the sound of my own voice. Honestly, I'm very glad the ninja did not die at the end of Crystalized. They did not deserve that fate. That's glad. That's good. I'm glad you're happy with it. I think Nia should have probably stayed dead, but I don't think any of the main ninjas should have really been killed off. If anyone should have been killed off in that season, in my opinion, it probably should have been Wu and Garmadon, because they've been around for a while. And it could have tied nicely into, like, the balance stuff, but it is what it is. Hi, Garbert. You haven't live for 8 months. Yeah, I noticed that when I pulled up my stream. I was like, oh my god, I have not streamed since A Sinister Shadow came out. It's been a while. Like, since September. Hang on. September is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's been like 5 months. That's weird. I know I don't stream often, but that's like really a long amount of time. So have you totally given up on Ninjago at this point? No. I don't think I have. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, because on the one hand I have, on the other hand I haven't, and on the other hand I have no idea if I'd even commit to it. Because, like, Crystalized alienated me a bunch, to where I honestly, I'm not too bothered where the canon is going in the future. Like, I'm not gonna, at least for 2023, unless they really turn things around, it's not something I'm going to be, like, actively hyped for and following every single bit of news for in the same way that I was for Crystalized or, like, previous seasons. The kind of, I don't know, my kind of, like, outright, like, Ninjago being my main thing is kind of on the back burner at the very least for now. But, I mean, I still like the old stuff, and I'm still using this channel, so it should be indicative. Like, I still do enjoy talking about the show. It's just Crystalized marred the future of it for me. So while I still do care about Ninjago, I don't really care for its future, at least at the minute. And honestly, I'm not going to definitively say I will never be into Ninjago again, because that's like really dumb. And you know when somebody says that, they're going to be watching it like a few months later, because that's just how this stuff usually goes. So I don't want to be hyperbolic about it, but I don't know. Yeah, at the minute my interest has been kind of declining, due in part to just like, I don't know, the integrity of the story just kind of going away from me. Okay, let me check chat messages. I'm making some good points. I think it's going to be a nice video. That's good. I'm excited for it. Hi, Krusty. This is Duff. Hi, Duff. I hate when franchises have those punching bad characters like Wu and Garmadon that they happily kill over and over just to resurrect. They don't really kill them. I mean, Garmadon, yeah, literally died. But, like, beyond that, I think a better comparison here would be Zane, who literally, like, gets completely scrapped every season and then just walks it off, like, 5 seconds later. So seeing as Harumi is obviously not going to be a villain anymore, she needs a replacement, like an alternate evil version of Lloyd. Does she though? I mean, surely what we should be pushing for is characters that fill new roles, rather than just pushing characters into the same role over and over again. Otherwise, why even redeem Harumi? If you need a character that fits that role, then shouldn't you just keep Harumi in that role? I don't know. It's like, because at this point we've had like 3 evil rivals to Lloyd. We've had Moro, Harumi, and this hypothetical new character. And it's like, I feel like we should be making new characters rather than just trying to replace old ones. Because that's usually how you make new characters just feel obsolete, like straight out of the gate. What do you think of the fact that Wu didn't need use Oni form despite being part Oni? I think that's a bit dumb, personally. What I like about Wu, I think he's really cool because like he has these godlike powers but just never feels the need to use them. But like pretty explicitly, he does kind of say we need Oni power and he just doesn't bother to tap into it. Like with Friends sweep. I really like what they're doing with Friends. Friends isn't something I care for at all, so I don't really have like an idea of if this is good or not, but like just from an outsider looking in perspective, they're doing some really good things with that theme. New character Evil Cole. He is Cole, but he is sick and twisted and wants to kill people. That was the writer's pitch for like the 2 seconds of only Lloyd scenes we saw. You watch Lego Monkey Kid soon? I really need to watch that. I watched the pilot, and I have some thoughts on it. I don't know what the consensus on the pilot is, so this might be like a really hot take, or it could be like a really cold take. Again, I have no idea. But the pilot, like A Hero Is Born, wasn't very good, in my opinion. Like, what I've seen of the later show looks very good, but at least, the pilot feels very poorly paced. Like it feels like they wanted to tell like this giant epic, but got stuck with a 48-minute time slot, so they kind of just had to work around it as loosely as they can. So like, say when Monkey Kid has like the fake out death, and all of his friends are like grieving him, and then go like, oh, we're gonna fight in his honor. They go to fight a battle, they fight it for about 5 seconds before Monkey Kid shows up again, and then everyone acts as if nothing happened. It feels like they had so many ideas, but they also just had to do what Ninjago did with its pilot, where it's like you have like a 40-minute long, 2 20-minute episodes pilot. Where really they just shouldn't have used that format, because that's clearly antithetical to what they were trying to do. But the animation was incredible. I'm sure the show does get better, and it probably was just a case of like teething pains and Lego not wanting to know if they want to spend that much budget on like a new IP, because like their previous attempts at new IPs, like with respect to Chima and Next Unites, failed badly. Or Chima was like a mild success, I guess, but like Next Unites in particular, like that was so underwhelming for Lego. They just couldn't even be bothered to finish it. But what I've watched of season 1 is like, okay. The first episode I thought was pretty mediocre. But, like, as soon as it like, because, like, I got to episode 2, and it kind of shifted from, like, a plot-centric show to, like, an episodic comedy. And I think it works a lot better in that format. So far. Again, keep in mind, I've barely watched the show, so this might be a very uninformed take. But so far, it's succeeding more as, like, a episodic, like, comedy than a big epic. Oh, jeez. I just got... Like, I don't like how at the start, like, Monkey Kid was super powerful, and then, like, had the power, like, restricted. I don't know. Because, again, I haven't watched this episode in a few months, so my take's probably going to be really, like, poorly developed. But I kind of just... I don't know. I feel like making him super powerful right off the bat, and then, like, just neutering it is, like a cool idea on paper, but it just, like, feels like a bit of teething pain from, like, the plot progression of the pilot. I don't know. This is like, don't listen to me. My takes are crap. Oh, jeez, I keep dying to this guy on the chopper. Okay, let me read the chat real quick while I'm respawning. I do think it was a good idea to bring back the Overlord. I'm mixed on it, because, like, on paper, bringing back the Overlord for a big final season, good idea. Making the Overlord come back due to vandalism? I'm not so sure. Like, the actual reason they gave for the Overlord coming back was just really strange. And also, he just doesn't mix well with Harumi. Like, on paper, it's like a decent dynamic. But Harumi would just realistically never work with the Overlord. And I don't think Harumi going from, I can't work with you, you kill everyone. And then the Overlord just saying, yes, but if I kill everyone, there won't be any violence. And then she's just instantly blindly loyal to him. I don't know. Highly encourage watching overly sarcastic production Journey to the West summary series before watching the show to get the best experience. If I remember to, I will do that. Because I probably should. I'll take your word for it, but I'm also very forgetful about this kind of thing. Okay, I just need to use my mouse, so you're going to have to put up with clicking audio for a bit. Thoughts on Legends of Chima? I watched, like, the first few episodes. And it was alright. I never really bothered to continue it, though. I've got to work on these audio things or I'll never get them done, so I'm going to head out. Have fun, Krusty. Alright, see you, Corb. Super Mario Bros. Movie. Looks really good. I naysayed that a bunch when the Chris Pratt reveal came out. But, yeah, no, this movie looks like it's going to be really cool. I'm very excited for it. Especially as, like, a huge fan of the Mario games. Like, just seeing how faithfully they're being adapted into a movie format. I just, like, know, if I saw this movie as a kid, I would be the happiest... Just be the happiest kid on the planet. So, that alone is, like, enough to, like, make me enjoy the movie. But it genuinely looks like just such a fun and, like, well... Like, faithful to the source material movie. And I really like that about it. And Chris Pratt's voice is genuinely good as Mario. Like, I know that's a hot take, but I genuinely like what he's doing with the voice. Like, I probably wouldn't have hired Pratt, but the actual voice direction is pretty damn good, I think. Like, they're kind of trying to go for that Brooklyn approach to Mario from, like, the Super Show, where he's, you know, like, gets, like, sucked into the pipes and then taken to the Mushroom Kingdom, rather than going for, like, the... I need to stop doing that, I keep dying. But yeah, rather than, like, the... you know, over-exaggerated Italian route. So yeah, I really like how Chris Pratt reflects that. Because, like, I prefer the origin story of Mario, like, just stumbling into a pipe through the... like, into the Mushroom Kingdom through a pipe. I think that's kind of hilarious. I hate this boss so much. Hey, didn't you do a video about the Mario movie on one of your channels? Yeah, I did. But, it's not up at the minute. Because Illumination copyright claimed it, or not copyright claimed it, just outright blocked it because I used like 2 seconds of footage of the Mario movie in the video. So yeah, that video is not allowed to exist anymore, or at least not at the minute. I'll probably like dispute it at some point, but I just really can't be bothered with the whole process. Hey you, you're the Crystalized hater, aren't you, Krusty783? That's me, that's me, that's me. Okay, let me just kill this brute, and then I will check the chat. This boss is a complete nightmare. The enemy encounters in this game are really good, but this boss is just hell, I think. Like, it's fine on normal difficulty, but on heroic, it's... Like, how you saw how it just kept dying. It's... You pretty much gotta steal the chopper. There's no other way to do it. So once I kill this guy, I'll check the chat messages again. Actually, no, I'm gonna check it now. Chima's so forgettable it didn't even get a level in LEGO Dimensions. That's sad. Hi, how are you? I'm doing good. That's why I was asking X guy. I wanted to make sure I don't get the YouTubers mixed up because I watched a lot of YouTube videos about the Mario movie. That's fair. I'm sure a lot of them had like pretty similar takes because like generally, I think people are just kind of in agreement now that the Mario movie looks really cool, which is good. It's nice. It's nice to like be following some media that like everyone can just agree, yeah, this is awesome and really fun. Oh my god, oh, dude, I almost got it. Hey Krusty, what's your favorite episode of Crystalized? Probably Benefit of Grief. I think that's like genuinely, especially for Crystalized standards, a really solid episode. And I really like what they did with Zane in it. Another contender is probably Safe Haven. Because I think what they did with Jake in that episode is really nice. Like how the episode ends with Jake reuniting with his parents. I think like as a tribute to the real life Jake, because if you don't know, Jake is based off of a real life child who sadly passed away last year. I think it's a really beautiful tribute to him. Okay, got it. God, come on. I hate this boss. I hate this boss so much. I really hate this boss. I wonder how much of this stream is just going to be me dying over and over again to this one brute. Oh, what am I doing? I have shot grenades. Okay, that was simple enough. Why did I forget I have shot grenades on me? Okay, we'll be checking chat again once either I die. Okay, I guess I'm checking chat now. What did you think of Garmadon's fun? I think the plant was cool. I like Krista fun. I think it's a cute like metaphor for Garmadon like embracing his roots. I don't really like Garmadon in Crystalized personally. I think he should have just like been left to rest after much of the Oni, but I think the plant was a pretty good like metaphor for his arc in the season, so I enjoy it for that. Hi Krusty, how are you? I'm doing good. Oh my god. I hate this boss so much. You guys have no idea the rage I feel with this boss. Skybound or Dev the Departed? Skybound. It's gonna definitely have to be Skybound. Planning on getting into the modular building theme after the disappointment that was Ninjago Crystalized. That's valid. By modular building theme, do you just mean like that specific sub-theme or just any kind of modular build? Because LEGO has a lot of really cool modulars. Reverse Flash Figure's new... reverse Flash Figure is $50 new. I hate how like old LEGO gets so expensive as time goes on. Like it genuinely is... Like Akita, for example... You may as well just buy the set rather than buying the minifigure on its own. It's that expensive. And that is just completely crap to me. Like, there's some Star Wars figures are like hundreds of dollars. This is really driving me nuts. It has to be like a rocket launcher or something I can use to cheese it. What's in here? Assault rifles. Okay. Okay, maybe I should go for the other brute first and then get the chopper. Skybound is probably Ninjago's most overrated season. Yeah, no, I actually got to agree. Skybound is good, I think. Like, despite my problems with it, I still think Skybound is a solid season. But I don't think it's as good as some people hype it up to be. Oh my god, we're gonna get a crusty rage on this screen soon. Halo is underrated. I got to agree. It's a shame. It's it's underrated. Like, a franchise that once had the highest selling piece of media in any medium ever. There's no world where that franchise should ever be underrated. But sadly, because of 343, we are in that position, which is a shame. But I mean, it is what it is. Not everything's popular forever. It's a similar thing with Ninjago, where it's like, not even because of the quality of the products, it's just like the marketing. Like with 343, it is the quality of the products, but with Ninjago, it's like the marketing is so subpar that just like barely anyone even knows this show still runs. Like, every time a new season is announced and like cartoon journalists on Twitter post the poster for it, people are like absolutely flabbergasted at the concept of this show even still existing in God's great year of 2022. And the fact that that is even allowed to happen is just kind of a show of like poor marketing. Like, the other day, I got an advert for Ninjago Core on my Instagram stories, and I was like, wow, that's like the first time I've ever seen a Ninjago ad on Instagram. So there is definitely improvements happening. Oh, I can use the rocket to blow up the chopper. Okay, okay. I missed. Okay. I actually hate these Brute Brothers so much. They're genuinely the worst. Like, the bosses in this game I think are good, but oh my god, these guys just genuinely bring out the primal gamer rage within me. And he just jumps and just kills me in like 5 seconds. I love it. I'm just on GTA doing Arena Wars at the minute. Arena War, that's... Arena War. Ah, that's the Battle Royale mode, right? Or no, I'm thinking of Motor War. Arena War was such a shame. It's such a cool idea, but just it was kind of poorly fleshed out. So just no one played it. And like by the time I ended up getting around to that update myself, just the servers for it were all dead in my experience. GTA needs to like remove a bunch of modes because like there is just hundreds of multiplayer modes in that game and like maybe 5 of them are active. Like the amount of adversary modes in that game that are just completely dead is ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna stick this guy. And just hope he doesn't kill me. Now, I thought Fortnite, live service for the game. Okay, but like, Fortnite wasn't around for the years of 2012 through 2018. Like, Halo Infinite's live service did strangle the game, but what we gotta remember is that there were 2 Halo games that were like equally as poorly received before Infinite even like was announced. And those are what put Halo in the position it was in. Infinite was meant to get it out of it. Infinite failed to get it out of it. And as a result, the franchise just kind of fell further into obscurity. Which, again, is a shame. Because like, even now, I think Infinite is a solid game. I have my problems with it, but I think in its current state, Infinite is solid. I know you're going to hate me, but in my opinion, I think Crystalized is boring. That's valid. Actually, I disagree though. I think if Crystalized is a terrible, terrible season, it's like barely coherent. It butchers pretty much every character it touches. But I'm not gonna lie, it's entertaining. Like it's dumb. It's like dumb popcorn. Just turn it on. Like I occasionally watch Brave but Foolish while I'm on the toilet. You know, like, it's not a good story at all. And when you, like, critically analyze it as a good, like, expecting it to, like, hit Ninjago's quality standards for, like, even 5 seconds, it kind of falls apart. But it's an entertaining watch. You could at least give it that. Like, this isn't me saying, oh, no, I'm changing my opinions on it now. It's really good. But, like, it is a fun watch. You know, if you're just turning your brain off, not expecting quality, just expecting, like, a dumb, like, action. Like, it's like watching it... If you watch it like you watch a Fast and Furious movie, you'll probably enjoy it. Also, that too. It's entertaining to, like, completely tear apart. Like, like, I genuinely have more fun, like, making fun of the season than, like, actually engaging with the season itself. It's just, like, so... It's kind of like Spider-Man 3, where it's just, like, so funny to just, like, tear at a new one. That's just me, though. Apparently, Rockstar are legit making drip feed cards for a limited time, though. Yeah, they are. I just spawn in and die instantly. I'm just gonna change the difficulty. This is just genuinely a nightmare. Oh, they win. I'm changing it to normal difficulty because I just want to be over with this boss already. It's entertaining, but has god awful writing. Yeah, I think the second half of the season definitely does fall off though. Like everything from Brave but Foolish all the way through like. Distress calls is like actual filler content, I think. Like, it's just so dead. Nothing, like, they just spend like 5 episodes just dawdling around the city. And it's like, this realistically could have been like 2 episodes. And they could have dedicated that time to character arcs. So I don't want to dwell on Crystalized. I need to try Demon Slayer. I probably should. I've heard good things. Okay, let's get this chopper away from him. Okay, I'm gonna spam him with shock grenades, and then I'm gonna just get him with... Okay, both of my shock grenades missed, so I'm dead. I'm probably dead now. But where did he go? Oh, he's up there. Sorry guys, I'm just very focused. Bro, your gun is crystallized in Halo. Oh my god, I've got the Mr. F blaster. Okay, I'm gonna switch to mouse and keyboard real quick so you guys can have to put up with the noise. It'll be like 2 seconds. Okay, there we go. What's this over here? Commando and a Spartan core. Okay, let's read chat real quick. Rue vs Crystal King was for the looks. Yeah, it's like a well-made fight, but it just doesn't add anything to the story at all. And like that's like half of the appeal of like a good fight scene for me. It's like, sure, being flashy is one thing, but like if you don't have a story to tell, like why not just make it a web short? I don't know. I feel like a fight as climactic as that should have some kind of, like, thing to add to the story. Okay, I do have spike grenades, but I'm not going to land any of them because he's flying around in his jetpack. Okay, it's time to check stream chat. Are you going back to Reddit someday? I just kind of like turn on Reddit every now and then and scroll through it. I'm not really ever on Reddit. It's just kind of a thing I use once in a blue moon. Hi, hello OG Bricks. Your videos on Crystalized were very informative. They helped me gain new perspective on storytelling and guide me not to make the same mistakes with my book series. That's really cool. I'm glad they gave you that perspective. At some point, I'm going to make like a big review of the season because yes, I know I have a review, but like just kind of it's like I know I'm doing like the Shrek meme here, but it's like the season has layers, right? It's like onions have layers. The season has layers, right? Like the more you think about the season, just the more it completely does not make sense thematically or like, you know, just as like a basic coherent story. Like say just today, I was talking to Cube, who I do the podcast with, and they noted that like the finale with Lloyd and Harumi is just completely contradictory to each other. Like Harumi attacks the Overlord in like a grief-filled like rage based on grief for her dead parents. And the show portrays that as like this good, noble thing. Like she's finally doing the right thing. And then Lloyd does the exact same thing with his Oni form. And then that's portrayed by the show as like this really bad thing that he shouldn't do because he's giving into his anger. And it's like the show can't pick like a moral even for like one scene. Like this is the same fight and it just doesn't have like a consistent like message it wants to tell. And again, I'm not going to stick to this long because like I can only crap on Crystalized so much before it gets tiring for me and for you. But yeah, that's why I'm going to be making like a big review at some point down the line. But beyond that, I'm not really interested in discussing Crystalized on my channel. Because the way I see it, I have two options. I can either make a bunch of in-depth, like, individual discussion videos, like, say, how Lloyd was ruined, or Harumi, or whatever. Or I could make one big one where all of this stuff is discussed, not clog up the channel with Crystalized rants, and then just, like, move on. Okay, do you like the Crystal Council, and would you like to see them return and have an actual villain arc? If they're having an actual reason to be there, then sure. But if, like, by return, you mean, like, what they did with Crystalized? No, just keep them out. Like, if they actually advance their stories in some way, sure. Okay, the two major Ninjago news channels are indeed very different. What do you mean by that? Brave But Foolish was the last good episode. Meh. I mean, Brave But Foolish is okay. Like, the fight scenes are really well done, but, like, it is contributing to a really, really bad story. And it does have some pretty goofy moments in it. I don't know. Like, the fight scenes are cool, but, like, by that point, the damage to Ninjago's story had already long been done. Like, I think the moment things really went downhill was, like, as soon as Harumi took the Kabuki mask off. I think Crystalized gets way too overhated. That's fair. Have you heard of Sonic Prime? I have. I really need to watch Sonic Prime. It looks great. Crystalized was so bad, bro. It's going to take some weeks before we get a review. I need to make the Season 11 video first. I'm just so unproductive when it comes to these, like, big Ninjago videos. I need to just buckle down and make that. Also, another thing, it probably, like, if I do get a big video out, it probably wouldn't be coming out for, like, another month or so. And I know this is a very self-motivated reason here, but, like, right now is a terrible month to post YouTube videos. January is, like, known for being, like, the worst month to post YouTube videos on. Because, like, ad rates just go absolutely down the toilet. So, I'd rather just put out, like, small videos every now and then and save, like, my big efforts for when, like, I'll get compensated for them more. And again, I know that's, like, kind of self-serving, but, like, the videos aren't even, like, made yet, so it probably wouldn't even be a problem. Do you know Foxtail, Krusty? I do know Foxtail. Foxtail is a fantastic channel. I love Foxtail's videos. Okay, they're gonna let me in. Okay, we gotta go to these areas. Roots is a terrible episode. Yeah, I agree. Roots and Dragon Form are like genuinely awful episodes in my opinion. I think they're like far and away like the worst season finale, and like we've had some. You know what? No, I was gonna say we've had some kind of mid ones, but I don't think we have. I think most Ninjago finales are like pretty damn solid. Like even the lesser seasons like Hands of Time and Prime Empire have like pretty decent finales. Whereas Roots, I don't know, just feels so like corporate and hollow. It's a shame how things turn out the way they did, but like at the end of the day, it is just a show. Dude, I should run an ad. I just got that idea now. Like, I would be way greedier on streams if I like actually remember to run ads. I get like too busy, like just actually talking. I think Crystalized did the best they could. I really don't think they did. Like, they had everything laid out to them. They had like the long season length. They had the great concept, and it just got fumbled. Like, there's no reason the longest Ninjago season of all time should have pacing issues. Who's the better embodiment of evil, Calamity Ganon or the Overlord? And who is the better threat overall, in my opinion? I mean, Calamity Ganon actually succeeded at what he was trying to do. You know, he killed all of the Hyruleans. He got the champions dead. You know, Link barely survived. Whereas the Overlord has... The Overlord, like, to the ninja alone, has been just completely schooled by them 3 times. And the first Ninjitsu match, like, every single time the Overlord has tried to do something, he got humiliated. Like, at least Calamity Ganon can say, oh yeah, I killed all those Hyrulean royal families. Hyruleans, what? Why are you saying you to that? Hylians. I'm an idiot. I completely forgot about the term Hylian. That's a big brain fart moment on my part. Got it. Got the ghost. Okay, this game is a bit mediocre, but like it's so pretty. Like, just look at this for a second. This is really pretty looking. I really dislike the Overlord. He's so generic. I've grown to like the Overlord a ton. He's just like a hammy, evil villain. And like in recent years, I've just grown to appreciate just like absolute, omnipresent, omniscient douchebags. Like Palpatine, the Overlord, and just like those kind of characters. The dialogue in this campaign is really good. I really like the dynamic between the weapon, Esparza, and... Oh, no. Like, the Overlord is a really cool character, I think. Okay, got the shotgun. Or the bulldog. But like, just the worst shotgun. Nah, the bulldog's fun. Thoughts on Season 5? I love Season 5. I get, like, in hindsight, it really is not the best season. Like, I think at the time it was, like, one of the best seasons. But it's been outclassed by, like, other seasons. And also it's had, like, its own set of pretty bad problems. Like, say, that Ronin and Nier scene. You all know the one I'm talking about. That alone brings it down for me a bit. Just, like, I don't know. why they thought that was a good idea ever. But there you go. And some additions I think are a bit weird, but like overall, I think it holds up as a pretty okay season. Crystalized, plus I'm extremely hyped for Ninjago United. I'm glad you are. I hope it lives up to your expectations, but for me, I don't know. I don't really care. I feel like my attention divided at the minute between chat and like not getting killed by the banished. Okay, I need to find a sniper to take out that turret, because that turret is just gonna destroy me if I don't do something about it. Oh, shotguns, that's really... What was that? Oh, some brute. How old are you, Krusty? I'm 18. Ronan didn't even kiss Nia. No, but he was going to. The only reason he didn't kiss Nia is because of the future power-seeing sword that made Nia aware that Ronan was about to sexually assault her, and then it's just like, why? It's just like, oh, just like, why would you put that in? Like, who was really pushing internally? No. Ronan's got to sexually assault her. There's no question about it. It's like, bro, come on, you could just not do that. It's just like, it's such a weird scene, and it's just like, I don't know. It's not enjoyable to watch on-screen sexual assault in the Lego Ninjago kids show, I don't think, personally. Like, exploring it, like, through, like, allegories for it and stuff, sure. But, I don't know. It's just something I don't want to see on screen, you know? Oh yeah, I can just spam grenades. Oh crap, rockets. Okay, that turret there is my main concern now. But if I get this rocket launcher and I shoot it like that, but also look out for that charging brute. I forgot how good the combat loop in this game is. Like, just the act of fighting AI is really fun. Like, the actual level design is so bland. But, like, the combat loop is really well done. Yo, what up? Hello, Dead Not Alive. What did you think about Moro as a villain? I thought Moro was an excellent villain. Void and Garmadon scene in Cursed World Part 2 makes me cry. Yeah, that scene is absolutely incredible. That scene makes me cry too. What I appreciate about that scene is, like, the question of, like, oh, what man is Lloyd gonna become? Basically just sets up the entire Ronin trilogy. Like, that entire trilogy basically just exists to answer that question. And I really like that about it. Oh, I just dropped my shotgun. Where is that? I dropped something. Okay, it's fine. I have a battle rifle. I'll live. Okay. Walter should have been the Crystal King, in my opinion. I agree. Skull Kid needed their own season and not just 2 episodes. I don't know. I disagree. I don't feel like we needed that much time with the Skull Kid. They're kind of just like a disposable villain faction. They did their job. Give me that. Favorite Ninjago collectible? Golden weapons, I think. Like, I know it's the generic choice. But, like, the golden weapons are just such an iconic thing, and they just do such a good job at like portraying the like intrinsic value. Like I don't know how to put this, but like, so I think a good collectible has some level of just intrinsic value. Like a kid could just instantly look at it and see that's important without being told by Lego that's important. Like say with the core banners. And yeah, they're just like, say when you see a gold sword in a set, you just instantly know what's up. And I think that's like why they're so good. They're just such a strong design. Thoughts on Ninjago live action? Live action Ninjago is a really bad idea in my opinion. I don't think they should do that like ever. Like making live action adaptations of shows, like animated stuff, usually always just goes to crap. Let me have a look through chat. What do you think about the Ninjago writers in United? I don't know. I'm sure they'll do an alright-ish job. See, the concern I have is it's like the same team as Crystalized, except with like even less of the original Ninjago writers. So, I don't know. I don't really have much faith. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but like even if it is good, again, like I know I've already said this, but like it just has the problem of, well, who says they're not gonna mess this up in like a year or two? With like a future season, a la how Crystalized messed up, like say Sons of Garmadon or like Seabound. But I hope it'll be okay, and I hope people enjoy it. But I don't know, I'm not really bothered about it one way or the other. Like when I say I don't care about Ninjago anymore, I don't mean I don't care about the show. I love the Ninjago show. It's something I'm always going to talk about. But it means I'm not really interested in where it's going, like the future. Like, Ninjago's future is just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm checked out. I feel alienated, and I just got launched in the year, and yeah. How's your 2023 been so far? 2023 has been pretty okay so far. 2022 is a bit of a mid-year, personally. But 2023 has been better, I think. I've started trying, like, I went clubbing recently, and that was actually quite fun. It's like, what I like about, like, clubs is that it's like the one place in the entire world where you can just, like, dance like a complete idiot and scream as loud as possible and just no one will care. And I think that's really fun. Become a Flash fan instead. JD, with all respect, you literally have not had a single good live-action adaptation. You have like one W comic series at the minute. Oh, I didn't realize there's brutes there. Both Sons of Garmadon and Seabound are fantastic seasons. I agree. I think Sons of Garmadon is better, but Seabound and SOG are two really well-made Ninjago seasons. Seabound is one I kind of don't care for as much now. Not to any fault of its own, because Seabound is absolutely beautifully executed. But the issue is, like, in the long run, it was kind of just like what feels like a cynical attempt to just get Nier off of the main team. Like, and that is entirely Crystalized's fault. I don't chalk that up to, like, that's by no fault of Seabound. Because Seabound is a wonderfully written season and an excellent send-off to Nier's character. But all it ultimately amounted to was Nier not being gone, but not being important anymore. Like, say, in Roots, Nier plays, like, as big of a role as, like, Benfamar or Sally or, like, Okino or something. And that is very sad to me. But that's, like, no fault of Seabound. That's the fault of the subsequent installment. But that is kind of what Seabound, like, is in terms of Ninjago's story now. It's just, like, no fault of its own. But I just am a bit indifferent on it now because of that. Still, like, just speaking, like, in isolation, excellent season. Relaxed and Swizz Prime have finally given up on Infinite. Wait, Relaxed gave up on Infinite? Hold on. Let me pull up Relaxed. There's no way. Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. Relaxed hasn't posted about Halo in a while. And he did invite me to Apex on Steam yesterday, so I assume he's like a just general gaming guy now, which is fair enough. That's probably something I want to try do as well. Wink wink, subscribe to Crossbound if you haven't, please. That'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put Captain Rex profile picture, I think, into timeout real quick, because you just keep spamming Crocs as a child in an adult's body, which I've like no idea what that means. Fake out deaths and sometimes sacrifices in Ninjago are absolutely pointless. Yeah, they should just stop doing the fake out deaths. Like, I don't know what in the studio is like appealing about fake out deaths to like the Ninjago producers, but like like, oh, they'll feel something for like 5 seconds before they realize it was completely pointless. Oh, what a twist. And it's like, really? And even then, like, come on, like I feel like they have to know at this point that like everyone just sees through it, so I don't see the point. Damn, that's a shame. It's like sad to see everyone giving up on Halo. I can see why. I don't blame them for it at all. It's why I insist that Crossbound is not a Halo channel, because I would never put all my eggs in the Halo basket, at least while 343 is in control of the franchise. Fake out deaths are getting incredibly annoying. They need to just, like... What I like about seasons like Master of the Mountain and Prime Empire is that they knew they had to be low stakes, and Season 11 too. So instead focused on, like, character growth, rather than, like, oh, look at the drama, look at the hollow, pointless drama, look at us, we're so cool. Like, Master of the Mountain, like, very, very low stakes season as far as Ninjago goes. Very high personal stakes. I think if they can't do major status quo changes, they should just do that rather than trying to constantly bait us with them. Ending should have been the finale of Ninjago. I completely agree. Wellbrain was good, overall. Season 11 in particular was excellent. 13 was very good. 14 was great. But, I don't know. I feel like endings would have probably been the best place to cap it off. 343 just doesn't get it. I got to agree. Like, in some areas they do. Like, I think their characterization of the Chief -5 has been, like, amazing. I really like Halo 4's campaign. I think that campaign is, like, incredible. And there are aspects of Infinites I like, but they just constantly mishandle the multiplayer side of things. Cole's Fall was so unnecessary. No, it wasn't. I disagree. Cole's Fall, like, sure, it doesn't really mean much for Cole's character, but if not for Cole's Fall, we would not have had Lloyd blowing up on Garmadon, which would mean there would be no Garmadon and Vinny scene, meaning Garmadon would never end up changing and reevaluating his life, meaning, one, he never helps the ninja stop the Oni at the end, and everyone will be consumed and die. Then, beyond that, his entire arc in Crystalized just would not happen, because Garmadon never got that wake-up call from Lloyd and Vinny. So, the Cole's Fall is, like, huge, like, has huge impacts on Lloyd and Garmadon's arc. As for Lloyd dying at the end of Season 10, absolutely not. I think that would have been awful. Like, the entire kind of point of the Oni trilogy is that life is kind of crap at points. And it's, like, nothing's perfect, but despite all of that, life is still worth living, which is why Lloyd ultimately chooses to, like, go back and, like, live his life at the end of the trilogy. And why Hunted is such a big emphasis on, like, endurance. So, if they ended that story of all stories with Lloyd unceremoniously dying by being crushed by a door, it would genuinely be so, like, just such a monumental fumble. Yo, are you all a Ninjago fan? I'd say I am. I'm not like a fan of where Ninjago is headed, but I am a fan of the overall show. But that might change as more installments get added of the new direction they have. But like the original 10 seasons, yep, big fan of them. Big fan of season 11. Big fan of season 13 and 14. I would say overall I am a Ninjago fan, but I'm not a fan of where it's headed. Why do so many people like Skybound? It's really not that good. I agree. It's not like the best season, but I don't think it's like bad. I think it's really solid. I love when the elite said it. They're like, "Got the demon off of me!" I mean, that's really funny. What do you think of season 16? Okay, I guess you're referring to Crystalized. I know everyone here is about to do a massive groan, but it is awful, and it killed my interest in Ninjago's future. So, not a big fan of it. But if you're a big fan of it, that's completely fine. I thought the Skybound suits were the best in the franchise. They're definitely up there. The Skybound suits are wonderful. I love the elites. How dare you! Oh, he's going to go for the Banshee. Thankfully, there's a stupidly overpowered grappling hook that you can just exploit. So, it's all okay. Oh, Fortnite. Fortnite. Hey, don't... Nah, don't be dissing Fortnite. Fortnite's a good game. Fortnite is a very solid game. Like, I think especially since they added no build, it's gotten very fun. I play it, like, not pretty frequently, but every now and then, and I enjoy it a bunch. My favorite part in Crystalized was when Jay sings about noodles. That was pretty funny. I think that's all of them. Okay, it is. Yeah, that's what I said. Honestly, as much as I love the scene in Moto with the first Ninjutsu Master, I would have preferred if endings ended with the Tornado of Creation scene. I thought about that. I thought, like, what if the entire Ninjago franchise just ended in that, like, ball of blinding light that the Tornado of Creation caused, and we just don't know if they won or not? I think that would have been something. It would have been interesting, I think, but I prefer what we got, because I just think that, like, ending for March Dione, where Lloyd just, like, chooses to, like, stick with his life, like, warts and all, I think is, like, really emotionally endearing to me. Do you like Jay in Season 16? No. I don't really like Jay in the Wild Brain installments. Like, he has his moments, but especially at the end of Seabound, he is amazing at the end of Seabound, but I think all in all, he's just, like, very flanderized, two-dimensional character. I feel like the balance in Ninjago has not impacted / consequences since the Oni were destroyed. I mean, like, no, the Overlord was kind of just building in the background, apparently. But what I do think it's done is that the Oni Temple was destroyed at the end of Crystalized, and that didn't have any balance impact. Because from what I understand, I need to, like, look into this a bit before I, like, actually make a point about this. But I'm pretty sure in the Dark Island trilogy, it stated that if the Temple of Light were to be destroyed, it would just completely mess up the balance. And we know that the Oni Temple is the opposite of the Temple of Light, so why wasn't there a impact on the balance when that temple was destroyed? Krusty, check the Discord, we got a raider. Oh, that's fun. Oh, bro's just dropping the M-word in the server. That's funny. Let's just ban him. There we go. Okay. So someone responded to the person rating saying your intestines deserve to be cut out of your belly. Messed up. I love Shuri. And if it were like any other case, I'd be like, yeah, you probably shouldn't respond like that, like evilly to someone. But like, if you're just gonna drop into the server and say the N-word, then like, sure. Yo, Krusty, do you have a Ninjago phone? Did they make this? Okay, let's head back over there and do the end of this mission. What are your thoughts on Attack on Titan's music? I haven't watched Attack on Titan. I watched like the first season. I thought it was mid, and then I put it down. I know it's the Dark Island trilogy is canon, but was Dark Island trilogy retconned though? I mean, like, in the eyes of the Ninjago creators, like with the monastery mural, the Dark Island trilogy had more of an was more important to the story than Day of the Departed. So if you're giving the book that level of importance, I feel like you do need to stick to its lore. No, I think we're just going to keep on with the main quest. Actually, no, there might be Spartan calls there. We'll do this. What Dark Island trilogy? It's impossible to get a book. I wish Lego would do better to preserve the Dark Island trilogy. I think Pen Plays put out a really good video about this the other month. About how, like, Ninjago's books and extended canon just does not get preserved at all. And I think he's absolutely right about it. Because, like, huge, very important Ninjago story. To the point where it's been acknowledged in the show more so than, like, actual installments. Just no preservation. Like, if you want to read the Dark Island trilogy, the best way to do it is still that Dark Island trilogy Instagram account from, like, 2016. John needs a life. You should play Among Us. I will not be playing Among Us because I don't have anyone to play it with. God, my aim is so whack today. I love the physics. I think my rating of Day of the Departed may have been biased because Moro was in it, but I thought it was pretty good. I agree. It's quite good. Do you know when Ninjago Season 17 is coming out? It's not. Ninjago 2023 is going to be a new show that follows up on the events of Crystalized. So, like, it'll probably end up being retroactively called Season 17, but as of right now, Season 17 is not a thing. It's not in the works. It's not being made. Whatever is coming out in 2023. The current name is Ninjago United, but that might change. It's not going to be a 17th season. Again, they also said that Season 11 wouldn't be an 11th season. But here we are. So, who knows? But that's the official thing they're saying right now. Attack on Titan or Crystalized? Attack on Titan. Like, I think it's mid, but, like, it didn't ruin a good thing. What important canon are you talking about? As for Extended Universe Ninjago, there's the Garmadon comic, there's Dark Island Trilogy, and that's about it as far as I remember, but those are still important. Like, Dark Island Trilogy, again, it's important enough to the point where it's represented on the monastery mural over actual installments of the show, like Day of the Departed. keep in mind that's the installment where Cole goes from being a ghost to being a human again. So in the eyes of the Ninjago producers, that was more important. So I think if the season, or not the season, the book is like that important to the characters, it should be preserved. How many times has Lego brought back Bionicle? I think 2. Because I know they got that like crappy gift with purchase at the minute. But like, I think they also did Bionicle Gen 2 and it just flopped. I hate gifts with purchases. This is a rant video I want to make at some point, but gift with purchase is just such an anti-consumer practice. Shadow of Ronin ain't even canon, yeah. But like, I don't really have a problem with Shadow of Ronin. That's like been pretty well preserved. It's available on like the App Store, and the 3DS game is still around. So is the PS Vita game. So I don't really think there's a problem with that, especially because like again, Shadow of Ronin is on the App Store. Okay, there we go. Grunt's down. Pythor's Revenge, that too. Pythor's Revenge. That is a canon book, also. Look at that brute go. I like Lego's gift for purchase stuff. Yeah, the actual stuff is really cool. But the fact that people are going out of their way and paying upwards of like hundreds of dollars just to get like 2 of those Bionicle sets, I think it's ridiculous. Like, and also that like set with like the spaceship, I don't know the name of it, but like that set realistically should be on Lego's website for $30. You should not have to be paying so much, because really people are making these orders exclusively for the gifts with purchases. And it's like, I don't know, I'd rather they just sold it. It just feels extortionate to me. Like, the actual builds are really cool for the most part. Like, I think the Bionicle build is a bit mediocre, but, like, again, it's a freebie, so like, you can't really cry that much about it. But, like, there should be other options to getting them, other than just, like, you know, buying hundreds of dollars worth of Lego sets for, like, a bunch of stuff you don't really care about, and then, like, a $30 worth set you actually want. It just feels like, I don't know, a bit of a scam. Like, when the gifts with purchases are just, like, either polybags or, like, tiny stuff, it's like, sure. But, like, when the resurrection of Bionicle, even if for a brief moment it's for a gift with purchase, I feel like you're kind of taking the mick a bit. Holy crap, that was a good skewer shot. Do you think Cole should have kept his scar visible, or do you like that he lost? No, he should have kept it. Like, there's, like, no reason to remove the scar. It just makes for, like, more visual consistency. So removing it is just, like, a shame. Especially because, like, it just looks so cool. It looks so cool. And, like, the whole intent with the movie redesigns was to make the ninja more distinct. I think a green scar on the forehead makes for a pretty distinct character design. But, like, it's not the end of the world. It's a green scar. And we still see it. So, it could be worse. Have you watched the Lion King cartoon movie? I watched it as a kid. I haven't watched it in, like, years. But I did watch it as a kid and thought it was quite good. Have you ever played Minecraft? I have played unreasonable amounts of Minecraft. Like, if I were to show you just my Minecraft hours on the Switch alone, let's just say people will be flabbergasted. It is over 500 hours on Switch. And that's not even factoring in the amount of time I've spent on that game on my Xbox, on my PlayStation, on my PC. I have played a lot of Minecraft. I think the first 5 seasons of the Ninjago show handled the status quo pretty well, with major deaths like Garmadon and Zane and Cole getting new bodies essentially. I agree. The first 5 seasons handled status quo like excellently. Thoughts on the Zelda franchise currently? Very good. Breath of the Wild is my favourite game of all time, tied with Halo 3. And Tears of the Kingdom is looking very, very fun. I really hope it lives up to my expectations, which at this point are just absolutely astronomically high because of the 3-4 something years I've waited for that game. Like, Tears of the Kingdom is absolutely my most hyped video game of all time, and there's like no competition. It's not even close. So I really hope the game is able to live up to those astronomical expectations. I'm kind of... See, I think it might get delayed again because it's just... I don't know. Like, I feel like there has been some trouble in terms of like the development for that game because keep in mind, Breath of the Wild took about 4 or 5 years to develop, and part of the reason it took so long to make was because they basically had to rebuild Zelda from the ground up. They had to build a new Hyrule, they built like a bunch of new concepts and stuff. They have like this entirely revamped like super in-depth physics engine, which that in of itself took like 2 or so years to get right. That's all done now. The groundwork which took so long to make has already been built. All you have to do is just reuse the assets and make new areas. So that makes me wonder, why is the game taken longer to develop than the 2017 original? That gets me very concerned because, like, I don't know, that, like, speaking as a Halo fan, that reeks of development issues. But that also makes me very excited because it tells me they've built on the original a ton. Whatever the case, I'm excited and I'm optimistic for Tears of the Kingdom, even if Age of Calamity was, like, awful. I think we're going to have a good game on our hands. So yeah, Zelda franchise, I know some people have issues with it. I really like where it's at the minute. Crossy, do you mind if I post a meme here? Sure, go for it. Apparently there's a play called Realm of Shadows, which is canon-ish. Yeah, Realm of Shadows is a weird one. It's like this Legoland play with like Klaus and this like baby dragon, I think. I haven't interacted with it in literal years. But, I mean, it's got like classic human Zane in it, and it's got like ghost, like human Cole, despite taking place before Day of the Departed. And there's just a bunch of continuity errors, which for me makes it so there's just no way that could possibly be canon. Oh, I'm dead. I made an Evo mech for all 5 ninja. I'm making one for Nia when I get home from vacation. That's really cool. Evo mechs are a lot of fun. I really like Evo mechs. Just gonna check Discord real quick. Okay. I need to get away from here before I die. If Human Garmadon were to appear in the show post Season 8, do you think he'd be redesigned? Honestly, no. There's not really much to redesign. I mean, I mean, Garmadon didn't really get a redesign at all. Like, sure, he got his movie suit. Minus, like, a little open flesh wound on it. But, like, beyond that, I mean, his design is, like, the same. His face is, like, the same. And that's, like, the only real design change you'd get with the movie. Beyond that, it's just, like, the suit. So once he changes back to human form, I assume he'd just look the same. Would you or have you built the monastery in Minecraft? Probably not, but that's not a bad idea. I might look into that. I haven't built it so far, but honestly, not a bad idea. I may do that in some future world. What's your thoughts on the newest Outlast game? I've got to be honest, I have no idea what Outlast is. Lego could have given him Lloyd's hair, movie hairpiece in dark brown. If he was, like, younger, they could. But, like, he's old now. He's, like, an old man. How long have I been streaming for? Gee, it's been, like, an hour and 16 minutes. I'll probably wrap it up soon. Because I like, really need a drink. And it's, like, 3 a.m. But I'll still be on for another, like, 20 minutes first, though. I don't want to end it yet. I want to do this mission, like, bare minimum. And that's going to be, like, another 20 minutes. Okay, where am I headed? Up there. Yeah, I meant in the flashback. Oh, right. Probably not, to be honest. Because, like, the Garmadon comic uses old design. So I think that's the design they're rolling with. Which is nice. Do you think Garmadon should have stayed dead after Season 5? See, if you asked me this before Sons of Garmadon came out, I'd say, yeah, keep him dead. No, duh, why wouldn't you? But his return in Season 8 is so incredibly well done that I'm all for it. Because Garmadon's return, what's so well written about it is we have it both ways. Because it feels like now more than ever that the true Garmadon is absent and Lloyd is without a father. But we still have Lord Garmadon around for future stories. Because Lord Garmadon, like the new one, is not Garmadon. That's the point. And like it kind of like accentuates Lloyd's grief for like the man his dad once was. Like I don't know, what I think when I see that Praetorian prison scene, how he's like still clinging on to the idea of, oh, my father, it's like, if Lloyd wasn't able to get over his dad naturally, then he's going to be forced to. By just seeing, he's gone. He's completely gone, it's time to move on. Like, I don't know, I feel like Garmadon's presence in these new seasons only shows, like, how much his absence is affecting the other characters. And I think that's really powerful. I'll send you a trailer on Discord, cool. If I don't have you added, just ping me in the server and I'll see it. Garmadon was not a bad person. Debatable, I think. Because, like, yeah, he wasn't, but also he kind of was. Also, do you think Sensei Garmadon should have gotten more focus before he passed? No, I think he got a good amount of focus. He was really solid and rebooted, and then in Tournament of Elements, he was just absolutely, like, the highlight of that season. So I think 2 seasons of focus is, like, more than enough. Keep in mind, 2 seasons is the average runtime of a show. Like, I think Sensei Garmadon had plenty of time before he kicked the bucket. Why do you love the Fire chapter? Because it's a lot of fun and I really like what they did with Wu's character. Like, the guilt he feels for, like, Asphira and Zane, I think is really powerful. And I like how Wu just kind of does get called out for, like, having all of these mistakes behind him that he just doesn't, like, warn the ninja about. That's something that I think was long overdue. Did you read Amber Spiral? I didn't. Is it any good? There we go. I like the fire chapter, but I dislike the ice chapter. That's valid. Why do you dislike the ice chapter? I personally think the ice chapter is like one of the best pieces of Ninjago media there is. The vibe is immaculate. I love the tone and like setting, and Lloyd's character arc is really solid. I mean, it's nothing too special, but it's alright. That's fair. It's just kind of meh. Same Ninja Tiger. Everyone loves Kai, but he isn't in a decent spot right now. Honestly, I disagree. I feel like of all the ninja right now, Kai's probably in one of the best spots because he was kind of saved from Crystalized wrath. Crystalized, like, to its own detriment, didn't really do anything with the character, despite there being huge potential. Kai and Crystalized, the worst you can call him is wasted potential. Like, as far as Crystalized's like character ruining goes, Kai got off relatively easily. So I think Kai's probably in like a better spot than most of the characters at the minute. The only part I don't like about the ice chapter is the ending. It's too short. That's valid. What if Lloyd managed to free Garmadon from the Preeminent? What would change? Well, Garmadon wouldn't be dead. So probably a lot. Like, the entire Oni trilogy just wouldn't happen. Harumi would probably still just be coping and seething in the Royal Palace. Because what I find really cool is, like, Harumi hated Garmadon. Like, Sensei Garmadon. Like, when Garmadon accepted the pardon from the Emperor, she was genuinely furious at him. She had, like, a syndrome moment where she just tore down all the posters and stuff. And I think that's a really cool aspect about the character, how, like, she personally felt like she needed to get him back on track. Which is why she did the things she did to him. I know you're used to vistas like this one. Damn right, it's the only thing in this game. Okay. We're gonna get Sniper. And probably a battle rifle. If Crystalized had better writing, I'd want Kai to become an anti-hero falling to darkness. Going down the wrong path, although he's a good person deep down. I'd like that. I think that'd be a pretty proportional response from Kai about the grief. What I find weird about Crystalized is, like, Kai got really angry. And, like, his entire worldview was changed by the departure of his sister. He became completely merciless and taught kids to be merciless too, right? Like, the whole obliterate your enemies before they see you coming. After that one scene, it's just never addressed again. That's like a major character change, and it's just never touched on after that one scene. Do you think all of the ninjas should have fought the Overlord like Lloyd in his only form, the ninja in their dragon form, and Nia in our Neared form before the final battle of Crystalized? I don't know. I'm mixed on that, like, concept, because on the one hand, at least it's, like, something substantial, but on the other hand, it's just, like, Oni Lloyd is honestly just such a whack concept. Like, it's just like, a fundamentally flawed thing that, like, exists to please, like, fans rather than, like, tell an actual story. But I want this. Oh, I've got to do another one of those sequence data things. I'm confused. I should just be able to go in here, right? Final question. If there was one thing you would have changed in Crystalized if you had the chance, Harumi doesn't come back. It has to be that. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing on this. Okay, we're going to wrap up campaign. We're going to do a match of multiplayer, see how well I do, and then we're going to end the stream. What do you think of the ninja's look changing in Season 8 and how it was explained in the show? I think it was good. It's been a year, and they've changed a lot in that year. So I think it's well explained enough. Only power is fueled by conflict. Only form is fueled by anger. But no, only power is fueled by anger too. As stated in episode 14 of Crystalized, when Harumi like makes Lloyd really angry and then he starts using his Oni power, but doesn't go Oni form. So like I don't know, like the entirety of Crystalized just like retconned Oni power and form just to be based around anger rather than conflict, and like having anger be the cause for form whilst conflict would be the cause of power. Honestly, solid distinction. Pretty good way to make Oni form its own thing and introduce it for Lloyd. But they didn't. They just decided to retcon the whole thing. And like the issue is, I don't know, Lloyd was never really susceptible to using Oni power because Oni power is built off of conflict, like fighting people and stuff, not anger. If it was built off of anger, Garmadon could just tap into some of that unbridled rage within him and just break out of Cell 1, for example. But he didn't because he was deprived of conflict, which is what he needed to fuel himself up. Whereas in Crystalized, Garmadon is just perfectly able to use his powers despite not fighting anyone and just being in Vinny's tiny apartment. I don't know, it's a mess. It's a huge mess. Crystalized isn't canon, end of story, lol, I wish. I'm not going to be one of those guys who say X thing isn't canon because I don't like it, because that's just sad. But, like, I wish it wasn't. But, again, that's just my opinion. But it's like a sad thing where it's like you can't erase it from the canon because people do like it. And that'll just be like a giant, like, slap in the face to them. So you can't do that. And not only that, but it'd be a complete like insult to the people who worked on the season, just to tell them, oh yeah, no, all of your like 2 years of work on the season meant nothing, regardless of the quality of like the outcome. Just like throwing it all away like that is just a bit of a piss take. Nah, Ninjago United, which still hasn't come out yet, is going to be the best show. I know you're disappointed with Season 16, but don't worry, we'll make it decent enough for your brain to understand. I'm hoping they keep the Oni stuff for future stories. I just don't. I just like... I don't know, the Oni stuff felt out of place in Crystalized, let alone like other seasons. It's just such a shame that things turned out the way they did. Does it look like someone respects its fans? And it's right. I wonder how Garmadon managed to get around the city when he was living with Vinny without the cops getting called on him. That too. That just made no sense. Like, Garmadon was literally just strolling around the city, causing huge fires, terrorizing the citizens, and nothing happened. Like, this like guy who terrorized the city not a year ago is just being allowed to walk around free reign. Whereas the ninja, for example, they get Hound Dog McBrag. Like, you know, they get caught, like, even during the Crystal Apocalypse, they get caught in literal seconds of Brag getting put out. He's on their tail. He knows where they are constantly. Garmadon, however, Ninjago's #1 most wanted, established that people are looking for him. When Lloyd says, my father's been found, nope. He's just able to live in an apartment, just stroll around the street, no one knows it. No one notices. Yeah, Crystalized just bothers me of how much it gets wrong. Same. We could start a club against Crystalized for everyone who doesn't like it. That's basically what my Discord is nowadays. Or at least an Ninjago channel on there anyway. Anyway, outside of that, people just don't really talk about it on there anymore. Pretty much everyone in there is just kind of in the same boat I am, where it's like... the reasonable explanation is the cops are sleeping on the job. Kalmar is the best Wild Brain villain. Absolutely not. In my opinion, it is either Vex or the Skull Sorcerer. Although Kalmar's a pretty good character. Princess Vanya. God, don't get me started on that. Okay, after this round, we're going to end the stream. So this is like the final 5 minutes. Skull Sorcerer on top, gotta agree. Skull Sorcerer, like that line, perfection, I'm afraid, has a cost. It's like, oh my god, that is good. Master of the Mountain is just good stuff. Kalmar clears Vangelis. Vexu. Why don't you like Brave but Foolish? It's a Crystalized episode. It's honestly, there's nothing really else to say. It's like part of a story that I just don't like. And like the fights are really cool, but the story is just bad. Like, fights are cool, but if there's no story to back up the fights, I can only praise the fights so much. And in Crystalized case, the story is very, very bad. So Brave but Foolish, I still think it's like okay-ish. If I'm gonna watch anything Ninjago related on the toilet and not think about it, it's gonna be Brave but Foolish. But like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't contribute much to the story and doesn't contribute to a good story. According to Tommy, the ninjas just forgot about the fact that she became queen. That is incredibly stupid. Ninjago United could be like Sons of Garmadon. It could be. But, just like how Ninjago United could be like Sons of Garmadon, the next Ninjago series' 5th season could be like Crystalized, in where it's just completely ruined, and it feels like you just shouldn't even have bothered getting invested in the first place, because it's going directly to ruin. And that's the kind of position where we're in. Like, there's nothing telling us that there isn't going to be another Crystalized tier, like, just complete fumble, so, like, why should I be actively invested? I'm sure... I'm not going to say I'm sure it'll be decent. I hope it's decent. Unpopular opinion, Asphira was a good villain and should have been the Overlord's traitor. I agree. Blue Jay says, Master of the Mountain is the best season in my opinion, and Cole finally gets some decent character development. I agree. Master of the Mountain is an excellent season, and I can see why you'd think it would be the best. It has its problems. I think Vanya's arc is pretty poorly fleshed out, and Lloyd is pretty mishandled. But I think, all in all, damn good season. Greetings, Krusty Burger. Hi, Phantom Slayer. Master of the Mountain is the best Wild Brain season. Master of the Mountain is my favorite season. That's valid. I think the best Wild Brain season is probably still 11 for me. But, like, Master of the Mountain is, like, a very, very close second. That season is excellent. Ah, we're ending the stream on a loss. That's a shame. I would keep going until we get a win, but, like, my throat is hurting like hell. Oh, no, never mind. We're having another round. Okay. Oh, God, don't get me started on Lloyd and Master of the Mountain. He gives me nightmares. That scene with him and Cole in the bedroom is very funny. But, like, it's just a repeat of 11. Like, it's like the whole learning to trust people shtick again. And, like, if they acknowledge the repetitiveness of it, sure. Maybe show, like, Lloyd, like, repeating negative patterns. Yeah, that'd be a pretty solid and relatable story. But it just, he repeats the arc. It's never acknowledged that this is just a repeated arc. And, yeah, it's very boring. You could say that about any show, really. What do you mean? If I had to rank the Rodbrain seasons from best to worst, Master of the Mountain, Seabound, Prime Empire, Crystalized, and Secrets of Instant Jitsu. That's a solid list, but I really disagree with Secrets being lower than Crystalized. Because, like, Secrets has its problems, but Secrets didn't ruin a 10-year-long canon. But again, that's your opinion. I'm not going to bash it. That a season in the future could end up like Crystalized, aka bad. No, not really, because the thing is, Ninjago has established that it is open to screwing up that badly. Like, say, something like BoJack Horseman, if that was still running, I would completely trust the show writer's ability to make a good season, because they have a track record of making good seasons. If they did a season that completely ruined everything, then yeah, I would be not as trusting of the show crew to continue the show. Like, if they want me to, like, not worry about that, the first instinct should be, okay, let's find a way to acknowledge these criticisms and address them in a meaningful way to show, no, we're not going to make these mistakes again. But there is nothing telling us that they're not going to make these mistakes again, and the fact that we're now open, like, to them making these mistakes, nothing says that they're not going to make them again. Whereas if a show has, like, a good track record, then there isn't really a concern of that happening. I hope that made sense. Oh, I really want to go out on a win. This enemy team is really good. I think the more you ignore Season 10 being 4 episodes, the more you like it. I really don't think the pacing in March Dione is as bad as it's cracked up to be. I mean, like, it's not great. I would have preferred a longer season, but I think the story they're trying to tell, which is like a relatively small character grounded character-based story, I think they do a good job in that time. Oh crap! The enemies might actually turn this around. Okay, there we go. No, never mind. We win. You watch Arcade? No, but I hear it's good. Okay, good stuff. How long has this stream been going on for? Let's see how long we've been streaming. Crystalized has worse pacing than March Dione. Absolutely. The fact that it was rushed with the longest season duration in show history dedicated to one arc is, like, genuinely pathetic. Okay, I think this is a pretty good place to wrap up the stream. Let me pull up that campaign arc, it's really pretty. Okay, I'm going to head off and get a drink. Thank you so much for watching this stream, everyone. I want to do more live streams because they're fun, and it's nice to just chill on stream every now and then, just play some games and talk some Ninjago and whatnot. And I hope you enjoy it too. Going forward with the channel, I want to kind of try and make a push back to, like, less crystallized rants, more like just positive Ninjago content, because I do miss making that. Like, I have kind of realized I do miss making it. Probably won't be making it as much because my interest in the theme has waned, but I want to be getting back onto making that. Some point, I'm going to be putting out that Crystalized review, and then after that, I don't really plan on discussing the season on the channel, like, ever, outside of, like, obviously, you know, like, when future content comes out. Whether I actually stick to this plan, I don't know, because my plans change, like, every other 5 seconds, but hopefully I will. So, thank you for watching the stream, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed doing the stream, and I'll probably see you in a future one. Yeah. So, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you